The 52nd Dā'ī al-Mutlaq of the Dawoodi Bohras, Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin, died in January 2014. As per the tenets of the sect, each predecessor is required to nominate his successor prior to his death. His death sparked a succession crisis where two rival claimants emerged for the title of 53rd Dā'ī al-Mutlaq: his son, Mufaddal Saifuddin, and his half-brother, Khuzaima Qutbuddin, who was previously Mazoon of the Dawoodi Bohra. Prior to 2014, Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin suffered a stroke in London on 1 June 2011, and on 4 June 2011, Mufaddal Saifuddin was named his successor. Following this, Mufaddal Saifuddin assumed this role as the successor, and his appointment was welcomed by the Dawoodi Bohra community. In the Dawoodi Bohra mythach, Mufaddal Saifuddin's name was taken alongside Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin's. Together, Mohammed Burhanuddin and Mufaddal Saifuddin travelled the globe looking after the affairs of the community up until 2014. Following the Syedna's death, Mufaddal took up the office of Dā'ī al-Mutlaq as per the appointment by Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin. Khuzaima Qutbuddin, claiming to have been appointed heir 50 years earlier in secrecy, challenged Mufaddal's right to be Dā'ī in court. He also took office as the 53rd Dā'ī of Dawoodi Bohras with two headquarters, the primary being in Dar es Sakina in Thane and the other in Safi Mahal, where Mufaddal resides. The challenge created a divide in the community, with the vast majority aligning with Mufaddal Saifuddin, whilst a small but not insignificant number aligned with Khuzaima Qutbuddin. Mufaddal Saifuddin assumed control of the Dawoodi Bohra administration and infrastructure. He is largely accepted as the Bohras leader by government and other public bodies. The UK Charity Commission has stated in writing that our view is that His Holiness Syedna Mufaddal Saifuddin is the current incumbent of the office of Dā'ī al-Mutlaq. Overview: Mufaddal Saifuddin's position. Mufaddal Saifuddin states that he has been appointed a number of times in presence of multiple witnesses. These incidences are: on the 27th of January 1969 in the presence of S.H. Ibrahim Yamani, S.H. Abdul Hussain Tambawala and AMP, S.H. Abdul Hussain, S.H. Ibrahim Abdul Qadir. This appointment is noted in a diary entry that was shown to the public on 4 February 2014 by Mufaddal Saifuddin. On 24 October 1994 in the presence of S.H. Abdul Hussain Yamani. In October-November 2005, during the month of Ramadan 1426H, in the presence of Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin's eldest son Qaid Joharizuddin and Malik al-Ashtar Shujaruddin. On 4 June 2011 in Cromwell Hospital, London, in the presence of 6 witnesses. On 20 June 2011 in Rowdat-Tahira, Mumbai, in the presence of the entire Dawoodi Bohra community. For 3 years from 2011 to 2014, Mufaddal Saifuddin assumed the role of Syedna's successor. In the Dawoodi Bohra mythach, Mufaddal Saifuddin's name was taken alongside Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin's as the successor. Together, Mohammed Burhanuddin and Mufaddal Saifuddin travelled the globe looking after the affairs of the community up until Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin's death in 2014. Henceforth, he assumed the role of the 53rd Dā'ī al-Mutlaq. Khuzaima Qutbuddin's claim. In 2011 up to 2014, Khuzaima Qutbuddin and his family had publicly declared and congratulated Mufaddal Saifuddin as the successor. On a few occasions, Khuzaima Qutbuddin was seen participating in public gatherings seated below Mufaddal Saifuddin. Until the Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin's death, there wasn't any indication of objection from Khuzaima Qutbuddin. Following the Syedna Sayedna's death in January 2014, Khuzaima Qutbuddin, who was the second-in-command to Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin, claimed the title of the 53rd Dā'ī al-Mutlaq of the Dawoodi Bohras. Khuzaima Qutbuddin claims that Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin performed nas on him 49 years ago in 1965, a ritual during which he appointed him as his successor in private without any witnesses. Qutbuddin states that Syedna Burhanuddin told him that this was because otherwise swords would be crossed. The rift between the two claimants started to appear even before the death of Burhanuddin, with followers of Khuzaima Qutbuddin rallying support for Khuzaima. A group formed in 2013 in support of Burhanuddin's half-brother Khuzaima Qutbuddin, who was Mazoon, serving second under Dā'ī al-Mutlaq. Khuzaima has denied formation of any separate sect by publishing a public affidavit. Khuzaima Qutbuddin died on the 30th of March 2016. On the 31st of March 2016, the family of Khuzaima Qutbuddin released a statement that Khuzaima Qutbuddin had conferred nas on his son Tawfiquddin. Chronological account of the events in 2011. On the 4th of June 2011, His Holiness Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin gathered three of his sons, namely Khuzaima Qutbuddin and Ahmad, his daughter Hussaina, son-in-law Dr. Moiz, and grandson Abdul Qadir to his room at Cromwell Hospital. He made a declaration appointing his son Mufaddal Saifuddin as his successor, and instructed them to inform the Dawoodi Bohra community. Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin then summoned Mufaddal Saifuddin and his eldest son Dawoodi Bohra to Cromwell Hospital, where a short majlis was held in Cromwell Hospital. Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin was congratulated on his appointment, drank sherbet, and everyone present performed salam to Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin and Mufaddal Saifuddin. These sequence of events were cited in a majlis held by Dawoodi Bohra and in Al-Masjid Al-Husseini in North End, London on the 5th of June 2011. The video of this majlis was recorded and was broadcast on the same day in Dawoodi Bohra community centers worldwide. These events were also documented in an official report by the Office of His Holiness Al-Waziratus Saifiyya. This document was published and distributed to entire Dawoodi Bohra community during the month of Ramadan in 2011. Khuzaima Qutbuddin denied these course of events, and claimed that Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin was too ill to have spoken coherently, and medically unfit to move or drink sherbet. In reply to these allegations, an audio recording of the appointment, and a video recording of the majlis in Cromwell Hospital was shown to the entire Dawoodi Bohra community on the 18th of May 2014. This video confirmed Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin speaking coherently to his family, drinking sherbet and presiding over the majlis, therefore affirming the events described by Dawoodi Bohra and the Al-Waziratus Saifiyya document. Qutbuddin has not responded to this video. Syedna's medical condition. At the time of Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin's stroke, his sons, attendant physician and son-in-law, Dr. Moiz Sahib and surviving daughter were present in London with him along with other close family members. Neither Qutbuddin nor his family were present before or subsequently. The medical report presented by Khuzaima Qutbuddin explicitly ruled out the possibility of the Syedna having any ability to coherently speak or move. The review was done by Dr. Daniel Mankins, chairman of Neurology, Beaumont Hospital, Michigan. He writes, "It is inconceivable that someone his age and with neurological deficits would have such a profound, yet transient recovery." He goes on to say that family members usually report even the slightest improvement to medical star. It surprises me that such an event would not be documented in the medical record, much less reported to the medical star. Based on this review report, Qutbuddin claimed that the succession was not done in London hospital, as Mohammed Burhanuddin suffered from a full stroke at the age of 100 that made it difficult for him to write, speak, or move. The doctors behind these reports had never met nor treated Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin at any time and gave their opinions based on medical reports and the explanations provided by Khuzaima Qutbuddin. Meanwhile, the specialists who attended to Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin and who actually wrote the medical reports do not agree with these opinions. Dr. John Francis Costello, consultant in respiratory medicine, and neurologist Dr. Omar Malik, both who had attended to Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin at Cromwell Hospital in London, have stated, in writing, that His Holiness was capable of making the declaration and of conducting a ceremony, even though his speech was slurred. Further, Dr. Costello stated that he believes the report provided by the USA Dr. Daniel Menks is incorrect. He confirmed that his patient, Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin, indeed did communicate his wishes on a variety of issues during his admission, on the 4th of June, the day of the NAS in question. Dr. Costello noted that there was evidence of continued improvement in Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin's health. He confirmed that although he did not witness the said NAS, there was no doubt that Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin was able to effectively communicate his wishes whilst at Cromwell Hospital, particularly in his mother tongue lisan al-Dawat. In regards to His Holiness's intellective state, both Dr. Costello and Dr. Malik confirmed that he was of sound cognitive state, and that he was able to clearly communicate with his family and medical staff. In regards to the reports by the USA doctors, Dr. Omar denied there was any evidence of a receptive speech problem. Dr. Costello further expresses he felt a special connection with His Holiness as he often greeted him with a smile of recognition, looked him in the eye, interacted in English, and even become lively at times. A year later, in 2012, Dr. Costello was invited on stage to meet Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin. In his medical report he notes that Syedna instantly smiled at him with recognition and shook his hand for a lengthy time. These reports were submitted in court in the sworn affidavit submitted by Shehzada Khuzaima Qutbuddin, the eldest son of Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin, before the Bombay High Court. The Dawoodi ceremony. On 8 June 2011, Dr. John Francis Costello noted improvements in His Holiness's health, and there were discussions about his wishes to travel to Mumbai to attend the death anniversary of his father Syedna Saifuddin, which was to be held on 20 June 2011. By 15 June 2011, there was further improvement. Dr. John Francis Costello approved of sending His Holiness to Mumbai in an air ambulance as it was deemed safe and appropriate. On this day, Dr. Costello recalls having a short coherent conversation in English with His Holiness about his journey to Mumbai. On 17 June 2011, His Holiness was discharged from Cromwell Hospital and travelled to Mumbai, as planned, in an air ambulance. These sequence of events, His Holiness's wishes to travel and the doctor's approval are of paramount significance because the group loyal to Qutbuddin allege that His Holiness was forced to travel against his own will despite suffering a stroke. Dr. Costello's letter proves otherwise. A ceremony was arranged in Dā'ī, Mumbai on 20 June 2011 to declare Mufaddal Saifuddin as the Dā'ī. The entire ceremony was recorded and was broadcast on the same day to Dawoodi Bohra community centers worldwide. This video was posted by Qutbuddin's website and reposted by another YouTube user. Images of this ceremony are also available online. Events following the succession. Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin's activities after the succession. From 2011 up to 2014, Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin, despite his stroke, went on pilgrimages, travelled across India overseas, and presided over many community gatherings. In 1432H, he presided over the Eid al-Fitr Majlis with Mufaddal Saifuddin seated beside him. Following the Ramadan of 2011, Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin went on a pilgrimage to Kabul, Najaf and Cairo. In the Hijri year of 1433H, Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin held the Muharram gatherings in Mumbai. On 2 Muharram, Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin conducted the first sermon and presided over every majlis at night until Ashura of 1432H. Following this, he travelled to Galicut on a pilgrimage to the mausoleum of Sayyidi Fakhruddin Shahid. There he performed the opening of the new mosque of Patipur, Rajasthan on 28 Muharram 1433. In the month of Safar he went on a pilgrimage to Hasanpur. There on 4 Safar he performed the opening of the new masjid in Rampura and named it Muhammadi Masjid. He then travelled to Ahmedabad for Chellam, where Mufaddal Saifuddin presided over the sermons. During this visit, his son Khuzaima Qutbuddin died in Ahmedabad, and the funeral rites were carried out by Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin and Mufaddal Saifuddin. On the 18th of January 2012, Narendra Modi visited the Syedna in Ahmedabad to offer his condolences. On the 20th of January 2012, he laid the foundation of the Qutbi Mazar development project in Ahmedabad. He then visited Dongam on 27 Safar 1433H. On 6 Rabi al-Awwal 1433H, he travelled to Pune where he was welcomed by a large gathering. On the 10th of Rabi al-Awwal, the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh Hon. Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, accompanied by other government officials, met the Syedna and expressed their condolences on the death of Shahzada Khuzaima Mohammed. On the 4th of February 2012, on Milad al-Nabi Day in Pune, he presided over the Majlis seated above Mufaddal Saifuddin for 3 hours, listening to his entire sermon. On 4 Rabi al-Thani, he presided over the Milad Majlis in Safi Masjid Mumbai as Mufaddal Saifuddin conducted the sermons seated beside him. On the 12th of March 2012, on the eve of Syedna's 101st birthday, he presided over the birthday celebrations and procession with Narendra Modi seated beside him. The following day, he presided over the Majlis while Mufaddal Saifuddin conducted the sermons seated beside him. In 1433H, Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin presided over the Eid al-Fitr Majlis with Mufaddal Saifuddin seated beside him. On the 19th of June 2012, Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin travelled to London. On 11 Shahraban 1433H, Asif Ali Zardari called on the Syedna and visited him at Masjid al-Hussaini, London. In a public congregation at Masjid al-Hussaini, London on the 14th of July 2012, Dr. Costello was invited on stage to meet Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin. In his medical report he notes that Syedna instantly smiled at him with recognition and shook his hand for a lengthy time. In the Hijri year of 1434H, Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin held the Muharram gatherings in Surat. On the 27th of November 2012, he held the Nikah ceremony of community members in the Razmi Saifi ceremony in Surat. In Mumbai on the 27th of May 2013, he presided over the death anniversary of Syedna Saifuddin and the final day examinations of al-Jami'at Saifiyya. In the Hijri year of 1435H, Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin held the Muharram gatherings in Mumbai. For 10 days, Mufaddal Saifuddin conducted the sermons during the day, and the Syedna would preside over the Majlis at night. On the day of Ashura, the Syedna presided over the sermons conducted by Mufaddal Saifuddin. On the 12th of January 2014, he presided over the Majlis of Milad al-Nabi in Raudat Tahira, Mumbai. This was the Syedna's last public gathering before his death 5 days later, on the 17th of January 2014. Mufaddal Saifuddin's activities after the succession. Mufaddal Saifuddin assumed this role as the successor of Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin, and his appointment was welcomed by the Dawoodi Bohra community. Together, Mohammed Burhanuddin and Mufaddal Saifuddin undertook the leadership after the affairs of the community. On the 9th of June 2011, then Chief Minister of Gujarat Narendra Modi congratulated Mufaddal Saifuddin on his succession. On the 15th of June 2011, the office of Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin, the Al-Wazirate as-Saifiyya, instructed Dawoodi Bohras to take Mufaddal Saifuddin's name alongside Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin's as the successor in the al-Mutlaq. A month later, in Shahraban, Mufaddal Saifuddin led the examinations of al-Jami to Saifiyya on behalf of Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin. During the month of Ramadan and Eid al-Fitr, Saifuddin led the community prayers, and Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin presided over the Eid al-Fitr Majlis with Mufaddal Saifuddin seated beside him. Following the Ramadan of 2011, Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin went on a pilgrimage to Kabul, Najaf and Cairo. In the Hijri year of 1433H, Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin held the Muharram gatherings in Mumbai. On 2 Muharram, Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin conducted the first sermon and instructed Mufaddal Saifuddin to conduct the remaining 9 sermons until Ashura seated besides him. On the 4th of January 2012, on Milad al-Nabi Day in Pune, as his successor Mufaddal Saifuddin conducted the sermon on behalf of Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin. Syedna Burhanuddin sat beside him for 3 hours listening to Saifuddin's entire sermon. On the 12th of March 2012, on the eve of Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin's 101st birthday, Narendra Modi attended the birthday celebrations and procession beside Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin and Mufaddal Saifuddin. The following day, as the successor, Mufaddal Saifuddin conducted the sermons with Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin seated on the stage besides him. On 4 Rabi al-Thani, he conducted the sermons of the Milad Majlis in Safi Masjid, Mumbai, with Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin seated besides him. On the 1st of April 2012, he conducted the sermon and Majlis of Fatima al-Zahra on 10 Jumada al-Awwal 1433H in Surah. On 9 Rajab 1433H, he led annual examinations of al-Jami to Saifiyya on behalf of Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin in Saifi Mahal, Mumbai. On the 15th of June 2012, Mufaddal Saifuddin travelled to Indore and was received with a rousing welcome as Syedna's successor. During the month of Ramadan 1433H and Eid al-Fitr, Saifuddin led the community prayers, and Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin presided over the Eid al-Fitr Majlis with Mufaddal Saifuddin seated besides him. Following that, Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin appointed Mufaddal Saifuddin as the Emir al-Hajj for the Hajj pilgrimage on the 14th of October 2012. In the Hijri year of 1434H, Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin held the Muharram gatherings in Surah. Mufaddal Saifuddin conducted 10 sermons until Ashura Ashura with Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin seated beside him. Mufaddal Saifuddin then travelled to many cities within India, Yemen, Ethiopia, South Africa, Tanzania, Kenya, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Kuwait, UAE, where he was welcomed as the Syedna's successor by the community and government officials. There he held numerous sermons, religious and community gatherings. Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin's 102nd birthday celebrations were held in Mumbai. The Syedna presided over the Majlis on 1 March 2013, and Mufaddal Saifuddin conducted the sermon on 2 March 2013. Mufaddal Saifuddin's first official correspondence as successor was in May 2013 during the celebration of Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin's Golden Jubilee, in which he instructed the community to set out on religious pilgrimages. In the month of Rajab of 2013, he conducted the annual examinations of al-Jami'ah Saifiyya on behalf of Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin. In the Hijri year of 1435H, Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin held the Muharram gatherings in Mumbai. For 10 days, Mufaddal Saifuddin conducted the sermons during the day, and Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin would preside over the Majlis at night. On the day of Ashura, Mufaddal Saifuddin conducted the Ashura sermon seated beside Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin. On the 23rd of December 2013, Mufaddal Saifuddin travelled to Udaipur to conduct the sermons of Chelam 1435H. A video recording of the sermons was broadcast in community centres worldwide on 16 January 2014. Khuzaima Qutbuddin and his family had even publicly declared and congratulated Mufaddal Saifuddin as the successor. On a few occasions, Khuzaima Qutbuddin was seen participating in public gatherings seated below Mufaddal Saifuddin. Until the Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin's death, there wasn't any indication of objection from Khuzaima Qutbuddin. Events following Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin's death. Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin died on 17 January 2014 in Mumbai, India. Mufaddal Saifuddin, who had already been publicly appointed and accepted as the successor, assumed the position of the 53rd Dā'ī al-Mutlaq of the Dawoodi Bohra community. Saifuddin was in Colombo at the time and immediately travelled to Mumbai via Chennai. He conducted his first Jumu'ah Salah in Sri Lanka and arrived in Saifi Mahal, Mumbai that evening to conduct and lead the janazah and funeral rites. Khuzaima Qutbuddin, who at the time was already in Saifi Mahal, Mumbai, left for his residence in Thane prior to Mufaddal Saifuddin's arrival. Mufaddal Saifuddin led the janazah rites throughout the night, and thousands of mourners attended the funeral on Saturday, the 18th of January 2016, led by Mufaddal Saifuddin. On the morning of Saturday, the 18th of January, as the janazah left Saifi Mahal en route to Raudat Tahira for burial, Khuzaima Qutbuddin sent out an email campaign to Dawoodi Bohra community members attaching a PDF letter addressed to Mufaddal Saifuddin stating his claim. That evening, around 36 hours after Syedna's death, Qutbuddin posted a YouTube video of himself on his website claiming that he was the 53rd Dā'ī al-Mutlaq, having been appointed in total secrecy in 1965. On the 20th of January 2016, Khuzaima Qutbuddin's name was removed Dawoodi Bohra from all official community records as the Mazoon. Following that, on the 24th of January 2016, Khuzaima Qutbuddin issued a public notice claiming that he was the sole trustee of all the WAKF's trusts of the Dawoodi Bohra community. On 30 January 2016, thousands of Dawoodi Bohras gathered at Azad Maidan, Mumbai in support of Mufaddal Saifuddin as the 53rd Dā'ī al-Mutlaq, pledged their allegiance to him and associated from the breakaway faction formed by Khuzaima Qutbuddin. Mufaddal's elder brother Dawoodi Bohra.Prior stated that Nas was performed on Mufaddal not once but a number of times. Similarly, peace marches were organized in community centers worldwide where resolutions were signed and handed over to government officials. A number of prominent personalities offered the condolences to Mufaddal Saifuddin as Syedna Mohammed Burhanuddin's son and successor. These personalities include Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Narendra Modi, Mahinda Rajapaksa, Nawaz Sharif, Uhuru Kenyatta, Cardinal Oswald Gracias Muhammad Hamid Ansari, Manmohan Singh, Sonia Gandhi, Salman Khurshid, ministers, members of parliament, consulates, representatives of religious communities, prominent citizens, professionals and intellectuals. In April 2014, Khuzaima Qutbuddin filed action in the Mumbai High Court against the succession of Mufaddal Saifuddin.